Isn't this place huge? God, there's so many of you. So I'm Ben, and I have the pleasure of talking to you, but I have a confession. I'm not, technically speaking, a researcher. I haven't even got a master's. What is this guy talking you to for? Well, that is shocking, but don't worry, because I do work with researchers. And the thing that I do for them, or one of the most interesting things I do for them perhaps, is I help them make games. Games. We love games. Games are this massive part of human society dating right back to the Egyptians and probably earlier, but this is the first recorded example. Games, we're going through this golden age of games right now, and they are so significant that you can genuinely and realistically consider a prospect as being a games designer or developer or programmer as a realistic career. In fact, so serious, governments take games seriously and invest in them in terms of tax breaks and in terms of capital infrastructure. So that kind of tells us that they're kind of serious, and that kind of explains why loads of people want to talk to me about making games. Now, these people don't have any aspiration to be games designers themselves, but they do want to exploit things that they see as important from games. This is called gamification. So I meet them, and this is great for me, but I meet them, I chat to them, we have a good time, and I'm all like, yeah, let's make some games. And then we talk some more, and I'm like, no, don't make games, that's the worst. Don't do that. Oh, hold on. No, everybody's looking like well confused. They're looking like this guy. So yeah, I guess you noticed that I just said I try to make people make games, then I try to make people not make games. Well, that is confusing, and well done you for spotting it. But the problem is that there's this conceptual gap between what we think a game is and what a game is in reality. Now, Pokemon Go, right? Can everybody raise a hand if they have heard, before this moment, of Pokemon Go? Wow. Okay, nearly everybody. Keep your hands up, keep your hands up. Okay, and now drop your hands if you have never played Pokemon Go. Okay? Right, so we're losing people. You guys are the Pikachus. We're losing people quite quickly. How many people have played Pokemon Go for more than a month? Right-choose. You guys know what I'm talking about. All right, still up there. I would hold my hand up, but I'd look stupid. And how many people have been playing it right from the start and are still playing it now? Nerds! It's okay, I'm with you too. Now, the reason I bring this up is because the media went completely nuts over it. It's going to change our lives, we're going to get healthier, we're going to go everywhere, carbon footprints reduced, we're all going to get really thin, yeah, I wonder. All I could think is, why is the combat system so bad? It's not a great game. That didn't change the fact that everybody's talking about it as such a success, it's amazing, it's going to change everything. Now, I had to ask myself, is it? Is it really a success? Because, well, we've got a room full of people, I mean, loads of people, and most of you have heard of it, almost half of you had played it, and then almost none of you are still playing it now. So is that really something we should be aspiring to replicate? The point is, games really aren't as simple as they look, and maybe they're fun, but they're not easy to make, and sometimes not that fun to make. So this question, I love this question. When I meet all these people, and I stare them square in the eye and say, you tell me what you think a game is. I'm basically adopting the Socratic method. And pretending like I don't know, I'm not here, I'm not your lifeboat, I can't help you out. I want to hear some words. And really I do this to uncover the elephant in the room. And I know this is a second elephant in the room joke. But I do this to uncover the elephant in the room, which simply says that, well, people go, well, I want to make a game, I want it to be like Pokemon Go, I want it to be like Angry Birds, and we're going to throw some points in there. At which point I cringe, my teeth hurt, because points don't make games. In fact, empty points don't ever make games, because empty points are empty and they're meaningless and I have no reason to play. So I feel like I should probably tell you what games are, because I've just moaned about what they're not. Well, I guess The thing to think about is that all human cultures have games in some way, and really they're just a form of expression. In the same way that narrative is a one-dimensional expression, and maps and sculptures are two- and three-dimensional representations of something real or interesting, an idea. A game is a four-dimensional representation. So a game is, I thought I might be able to do this without remembering, but I'm not. So a game is an object whose shape changes over time in a constrained way via rules, such that we get a payoff from predicting its shape as a consequence of our actions. The key word here is payoff and prediction, because without prediction, we don't get a payoff. Prediction only comes where there is no certainty, and you tell any clinician, oh yeah, you can fail at your thing now. They're not really into having a game where you can fail, so they just want to pour points on people, and that's boring. Now I've moaned about games and I've told you why you shouldn't make one, but it's not all doom and gloom, and I do stick at it, and I meet some phenomenal people, and every so often, the stars align. And I get to meet these fantastic people who genuinely know what they're talking about and genuinely are interested in what a game can do for them. And that happened with these guys, Champ, here in Manchester. Now, these guys work within the NHS, and their interest is in reducing childhood obesity in Manchester. And we worked together to make this project, Champ Trumps, where we worked with an illustrator, full-on illustrator, where it's a card-based, no digital, card-based design, where kids have real-world data. This information at the bottom is how the game is played based on top trumps. And it's based on real-world data, based on real-world understandings of how to be healthy in certain aspects. Because the thing about food is it's really not that easy to eat healthily, because it's really not that easy to say what is a healthy food, because foods are healthy in comparison with other foods. And, well, the reason I bring this up is because this is an example of using a game to express something. And while I've got lots of pretty pictures and you're saying, well, that's fine, well, what I thought was really fantastic and, in fact, beautiful is that these kids who play this game are basing their decisions within the game on real-world data. So if they use that in the real world, then they will hopefully have better lives. That's beautiful, and that's the point.